Yo guys, what is going on? Insanity coming back at you today with another Division 2 video, and today we're going to be running through the entire weekly vendor reset for May 24th, 2019. To start things out, we're going to go ahead and check out the gun runner Cassie Mendoza to see what she has, because more than likely she's going to have a named weapon that we haven't already found. So, starting things out with the Wyvern Wear Backpack, 34.8k armor, 6% critical hit chance, 14,000 armor, and 4% critical hit, 4% weapon damage, with 10% damage to elites on that hard-hitting talent and on the ropes. Second, you got the Murakami gloves, 19.3k armor, 10,000 health, 5% pistol damage, and the critical for the 5% critical hit damage. She's got a foul with 18.2k damage, nearsighted talent, jazz hands, and in rhythm. The two named weapons she has, yes, she has two this week, and one of them is brand new. Starting with the Rail Splitter Sitar 21. Took this off one of your dead colleagues. No hard feelings. Cassie Mendoza, the gun runner, with 10.3k damage. That's extremely low, by the way. With measured, extra, and Wascali. And the brand new named item for the week is the Lightning Rod Custom PF45. Inscription reads, strike hard and fast, but also unexpectedly. Damage 23.8k with salvage, stable, and transmission. And since this is one that I don't have, I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, even though I'm out of space. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap that up for the gun runner. Let's go ahead and head on over to all the other vendors, such as the White House, and go on from there. All right, making our way through here at the White House. The main vendor when you walk in the door has three high ends to go ahead and check out. A Wyvern Wear Backpack, 469 gear score, 32.1k armor, 6% critical hit chance, 12,000 armor, and 4% weapon damage with hard hitting and on the ropes. That sounds awfully familiar, like just what Cassie had, but yeah, it's not the same. Next, you got the Gila Guard Mask, rocking 18,000 armor, 15,000 health, and 23% hazard protection. If you're looking for a somewhat decent hazard protection roll to go ahead and put on another piece of gear, you could always take this and put it on another piece, but it also comes with the centered talent as well. For the weapon, he's got the Black Market RPK 74, 11.9k damage with spike, stable, and zen, and none of the main talents you're really looking for in an LMG, but yeah, it's there if you want it. So next, let's go ahead and head on over to the campus. All right, now that we've made our way on over to the next settlement here over at the campus, we have three high ends to check out. The So-Call of Concern knee pads, 25.7 armor, 2.5% critical hit chance, 3,600 armor with self-adjusting for that 20% armor regeneration. Next, you got the R&K holster, 465 gear score with 24.2k armor, 14.5% critical hit chance, and devastating. That's actually not a bad holster for just, you know, getting some raw damage in there. If you wanted to go ahead and pick this up, it may help you out with your raid, with Boomer, or any of the main damage things that you have going on. For the weapon, you have the Vector SBR 9mm, 6.7k damage. That's extremely low yet again. With strained, accurate, and transmission, you could always take strained and throw it on another SMG that you really like using. But yeah, that's pretty much going to go ahead and wrap things up here at the campus. Let's head on over to the theater. All right, now that we're here at the theater settlement, there's only one high end that you can really go ahead and check out. It's the double barrel sawed-off, 139,000 damage with preservation, distance, and stop, drop, and roll. When it comes to talents, I would say maybe on the backpack up here for this superior, you have hard hitting, so you can roll it on something else, or you can use that 16,000 health. On the gloves, it doesn't really have anything important, and on this FAL for the assault rifle, I mean, stable if you need it, but I mean, it's nothing really else important. So there's your high end, and maybe the talents and the attribute off of this backpack. I'd go ahead and pick that up if you needed to roll it on something else you use. Next, let's start our round through the Dark Zone. All right, on the first of the three stops here for the Dark Zone, let's go ahead and start things out over at DZ East. First thing we have is the Petrov Defense Group chest piece, 470 gear score, rocking 36,000 armor, 443 skill power, 13,000 armor, 2.5% weapon damage, and 7.5% headshot damage with the Bloodsucker talent. That is actually a pretty decent talent. A lot of people are starting to use that if you wanted to go ahead and take it for this piece or roll it onto a chest piece that you like using. There we go. Here's the big boy. Military M60E4. This is what everyone is using for sustained damage right now in the raid. 15.6k damage with Reformation, Distance, and Double Duty. Terrible talents, but if you are looking for one to try and do a higher magazine with a lot of sustained damage, and this would help you out with Boomer or any of the other bosses along the way. Let's head on over to DZ South now. Alright, let's see what the South vendor has for us this week. First things first, you have the China Light Industry Gloves, 19.6k armor, 6% shotgun damage, and 1% marksman rifle damage. Wow, that's a terrible piece of gloves in my opinion. 20% explosive damage with the destructive talent. If you wanted to go ahead and use that with the demolitionist specialist, please roll that onto another piece of gear that you might actually want to use, because this one's a piece of crap. For the weapon, you have the custom L86A2, 15.2k damage, steady hands, optimized, and in rhythm. Yeah, definitely not looking good for that vendor. Let's head on over to DZ West. All right, and for our final stop for this week's vendor reset, we're here over at DZ West, starting things out with the Araldi Holdings holster, 483 gear score, 28.9k armor, and 19% cooldown reductions with the 20% skill duration talent. I mean, maybe you want to go ahead and roll that onto another piece of gear, but I mean, if you're looking for a skill build, that might help you out a little bit. The second thing on the list is the G36 Enhanced Assault Rifle, 13.7k damage with Ranger, Allegro, and Rooted. Now, Ranger has been a lot of fun to use, and I may actually try rolling this on one of my P416s, just because it's actually really, really effective the further you are away from your opponent, and you're not always right up in everybody's face. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much going to go and wrap everything up for this week's vendor reset for Friday, May 24th. Be sure to go ahead and pick up that new named weapon over at Cassie Mendoza before she is gone next week. Anyways, I'm Insanity. Drop a like if you haven't already. Sub for more Division 2 and looter shooter content, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one.